Hi there, Mr. Holcomb here with another episode of the Math Behind the Modules. This is lesson 22, surface area. Surface area. So we're going to start off by saying surface area. We're going to call that SA. Okay, so opening exercise says, what's the area of the composite figure in the diagram? What is the area of the composite figure in the diagram? So here is a diagram. That is called a net, and we could simply just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and keep counting. But I'm going to stop right here because at this point I know I have 12 units squared. Is the area of this. The reason I'm stopping is because this is equal to that, is equal to that. And if I rotate it, flip it around, it's going to be equal to this one, and this one, and this one. So if you see that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 L's, if you will. So if I multiply that by 6, I get 72 units squared. Okay? Then it says, is the diagram a net for the three-dimensional image? If so, sketch the image. If not, explain why. I would not expect you to try to sketch this image. Okay, what I would probably do is cut this out and give you copies and have you fold it and see what happens. And this is the shape it's going to get. And what we have is we have a base. The base would be right here. This would be our bottom. Okay, this piece here would be this back side over here. This piece would be the back side over here. This would be the top, which is right here. And then when we fold these two sides over, call that S sub 1 and S sub 2. The S sub 1 would be here, and the S sub 2 would end up there. And so on and so on. Okay? If I fold this up, this right here is right here. This right here would end up here. And this right here would be here. Okay, and that's really tough to see if you can't get a feel for this, but I would not ask you to draw a three-dimensional figure from a net. Okay, let's move on to example 1. The pyramid in the picture has a square base, and its lateral faces are triangles that are exact copies of one another. Find the surface area of the pyramid. So I'm going to start off with saying that surface area equals the base. So over here I'm going to say B equals base area. SA equals surface area. And lateral, see the word lateral, we're going to call that LA, which means lateral area. Okay. A base is what the bottom is, what this shape sits on. So when we say it is a square pyramid, it means the base is square, and it's a pyramid of 4 sides, and the 4 sides are your lateral faces. So the lateral area is the 4 triangles. So surface area will equal the base plus lateral area. Okay, that's our starter. We have to come up with an equation. And, well, then we need to break everything down. So off to the side here, I'll do in a little side note here. B equals S squared, because it's the area of a square. LA equals 1/2 base times height, because it is a triangle. It's right here. Okay, there's the front face, and if I have 4 that are equal, then I'm going to multiply these by 4. So let me rewrite that neater. The lateral area consists of 4 triangles, and an area of a triangle is base times height. So the lateral area is 4 times the area of one triangle. There's 4 of them. The base is a square, and the area of a square is S squared. So my surface area is going to equal the base area, which is S squared, plus my lateral area, which is 4 times 1/2 base times height. Okay, so now I'm going to say surface area equals base area plus lateral area. Okay, so my surface area is going to equal, well, S for a square, that means side. So one side of this square base is 6 centimeters. So it's going to be 6 centimeters squared plus 4 times 1/2 the base, which is 6 centimeters, times the height. The height is right here, and it's 7 centimeters. Okay, so my surface area is going to equal 6 squared is 36, centimeters squared is centimeters squared. So there's the area of my base, plus, well, 4 times 1/2 is going to reduce to 2, and 6 times 7 is 42. 42 times 2 is 84. Centimeters times centimeters is centimeters squared. So my surface area is going to be 36 plus 84. 6 plus 4 is 10, carry the 1. 8 plus 1 is 9, plus 3 is 12 centimeters squared. And that is the surface area of our square pyramid. Okay, example 2. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is realize that there are 13 cubes. So we have a base, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's solid on the bottom. There's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's where the 13 cubes come in. The edges of each cube are 1/4 inch in length. So they mean that this is 1/4 and this is 1/4. So I want to find the area of each face, and I'll call it SA, my surface area of one square. So the surface area equals S squared because it is a square. So the surface area of one square is 1/4 quantity squared. So the surface area is 1/16. And they're inches, so I'll say inches squared. So the surface area of one of these is 1/16. Now we have to really picture what's going on here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one hiding back here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The bottom is going to have 9. So the top had 9. The bottom has 9. And then I'm going to look at each face. So if I'm looking at this side, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And there's going to be 5 on the back and 5 on this back side. So those are all the sides. 9 and 9 is 18. 5, 10, 15, 20. Totaling 38. And then I've got to remember that there's 1, 2, that I haven't counted yet on the insides of each of these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have to add those 8 in. 8 and 8 is 16. So I end up with a total of 46 faces. So it's really difficult, but you have to be careful and do this. So now the surface area of this whole thing is going to be the number of square faces times the square inches per face. Okay, and that's going to come out to be 46 over 16, which equals 23 over 8, and 8 goes into 23 2 times. It's the remainder of 7, so it's 2 7/8 inches squared is the surface area. There's my answer, 2 7/8 inches squared. Yikes. They're not making this easy, are they? Example 3. Find the total surface area of the wooden jewelry box. The sides at the the sides and the bottom of the box are all a 1/4 inch thick. Okay? What are the faces that make up this box? Okay, this one is going to be a tricky one. It says to find the total surface area of the wooden jewelry box. The sides and the bottom of the box are all 1/4 inch thick. What are the faces that make up this box? Okay, let's start with the easy stuff. This face here is a rectangle, and it is 6 inches wide, and this is the same height over here as this here, so that's 4 inches tall. So I have a square that's 4 by 6, and I have 2 of them. So surface area equals, and in this case we have a lateral area plus 2 bases. So we have to picture a lid on top of this as well. So the surface area is the lateral area, which is the area around, and the surface area, I should say area around, the area of the sides is the surface area, and the area of the bases is the area of the top and the bottom combined. So surface area equals lateral area plus 2 bases. And lateral area, if you were to figure this, we have a 6 by 4 plus a 10 by 4 plus a 6 by 4 plus a 10 by 4. Okay? Well, what's really happening there is what I said was 6 by 4, 10 by 4, 6 by 4, 10 by 4. So what I'm doing is finding the perimeter of the bottom and multiplying it by the height. So lateral area is going to be replaced with perimeter times height plus 2 times length times width, plus 2 LW. Okay? So the surface area is going to be the perimeter of the bottom, which is 6 plus 10 plus 6 plus 10. I'll show that. I'm going to multiply all of that by the height 4. Well, this is like the distributive property. So if I find this surface area here at 6 times 4, well, 6 times 4 would be if I distributed this. And the area of this side is 10 times 4. Well, there's 4 times 10. So I'm just really doing the distributive property here. So if I find the perimeter and multiply it by the height, that will give me the lateral area. So 10 plus 10 is 20, 6, 32. So that's 32 times 4. But don't forget, I'm also adding 2 length times W's, and I might as well substitute everything in on the same step. So let me clean this up here. So now I'm talking about length times width. I'm talking about the bases. 6 by 10 would give me this rectangle. Okay, plus 2 times 6 times 10 for 60. Okay, so the surface area is going to be plus 120. So it's 32 times 4 plus 120. 32 times 4 is 138 plus 120. So the surface area of the outside of the box is 258. Sorry, 248. Let's see, 4 times 2, 4 times 3 is 12, not 13. Okay, so this is 248. Let me fix this. 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 3, 12. I don't know why I had a 1 carry, there isn't any. And then 128 plus 120 is 248 inches square. That's the outside of the box. Okay? Now I need to do the inside. I'll change to green now. Well, the trick here is 1/4 inch thick. So if it is a 1/4 inch from here to here, and a 1/4 inch from here to the other outside, we're subtracting a 1/2 inch from this 6 inches, so the inside is 5 1/2 If I'm subtracting a quarter from here and a quarter from over here, that's a ½ inch. 10 minus a half is 9 1/2 inches. The height is only going to be decreased by a quarter and a quarter as well, or a half. So the height is only going to be 3 1/2 inches. We're reducing a quarter this way and a quarter on the top. Okay, one thing I am going to change is the height. They are not taking into consideration that the lid is a ½ inch thick. So I'm only going to subtract a quarter from here. So 4 minus 1/4 is 3 3/4 inches. So this inside piece is 3 3/4. So now I'm going to do the perimeter again. So I'm going to rewrite this whole problem. SA equals LA plus 2B. SA equals perimeter times height plus 2LW, because the rectangle's length times width. So SA equals, and the perimeter is 5 1/2 plus 9 1/2 plus 5 1/2 plus 9 1/2, which is 19 plus 11, which is 30. Is that correct? Yes, 30 plus 2 length times width. Well, 9 1/2 times 3.75 equals, okay, so I just calculated that and it comes out to be 22.5 or 22 1/2. Let's see. Okay, sorry for the distraction there. I had to pause the video for a while. I had to figure out where I am, and now I'm at perimeter of 30. Perimeter of 30, surface area. Perimeter of 30 times the height, and the height is 3.34. 3 3/4, I mean, not 3.34. 3.75 or 3 3/4. Okay, and now that I look back too, we don't have a lid on this thing, so it's going to be 1B, not 2B, so it's just going to be LW, so it's going to be plus LW, which is 5 1/2 by 9 1/2. Okay, 5.5 by 9 1/2. I'm running out of room here. 5 1/2 times 9 1/2. Okay, so that's the LW here. So SA is going to equal 30 times 3 3/4 is 90. 30 times 3 is 90, and 90 quarters, if you will. And then the base area of one base is 5 1/2 by 9 1/2. 9 times 5 is 45. Okay, not 5.5. Let me do it that way. 11 halves. 5 1/2 is 11 halves times 9 times 2 is 18 plus 1 is 19 halves. So that's going to come out to be 9. 4 goes into 9 2 times. 4 goes into 9 2 times, remainder 1. 4 goes into 10 2 times, remainder 2. 22.5 times 90 fourths is 22.5. So the 90 plus that 22.5 is 112.5. Okay, and now we need to add that 1B in. And 1B would be 11 times 19, which is 190 plus 19. 209 over 4. 4 will go into 25 times. And 4 will go into 9 2 times. The remainder of 1 is 0.25. So that's 52.25. So when I add these all up, I finally get 5, 7, 2 plus 2 is 4, 5 plus 1 is 6, and then the 1. So the answer is 164 3/4. 164.75 inches squared is my final surface area. Okay, that was a really complex problem. Would I ever ask you to do that for a quiz or a test? Most likely. Okay, so here they gave me space to do that. Large prism, small prism. So I did the large one in red, the small one in green on this page right here. And then it says surface area of the box, which I just did. Okay, and that is the end of lesson 22. Go do your problem set.